The wind howled like a banshee, tearing through the frozen mountains of Shivar Prime. She knelt alone in the snow, her body shielding a tiny, weak bundle, her baby barely breathing. With frost-bitten fingers, she sang the lullaby of her ancestors, a song of peace before death. There was no hope, no help, no gods listening. Then, through the blizzard, a shadow moved. Tall, human, wrapped in strange gear, eyes burning with purpose. She stopped singing. Her lips trembled. "Please," she whispered, "don't let her die." The human didn't speak. He knelt, removed his coat, and the impossible began. Kira of the Shirvan Ice Clan knew what death felt like. She had seen it take warriors in battle, take elders in the quiet of sleep, and take infants before their names were ever spoken. But this was different. This was her child, and the storm was relentless. They had fled the outpost 3 days ago when the alarms screamed of collapse. The quakes that shattered the valley had destroyed the heating cores. Supplies gone. Communications silenced. They had no choice but to flee into the mountains. Many had died on the first day. Now, only she remained. And little Saru, whose tiny blue face was now nearly still. The snow was endless, white upon white, swallowing her cries. She curled herself over her daughter, clutching her close, trying to offer what little warmth remained in her failing body. She began to sing. It was the song of passing, a melody sung by Shirvan mothers when no hope remained. It spoke of stars waiting beyond the frost, of ancestors guiding tiny spirits to warmth. Sarah didn't stir. "I'm sorry," she whispered through chattering teeth. "I tried." Then the wind shifted. A sound, not snow, not wind. Heavy footsteps. The crunch of deliberate motion. A shadow loomed through the white haze. Kira's heart stuttered. She blinked, unsure if it was real. A towering figure approached, wrapped in thick armor, fur-lined and humming faintly with heat. A visor glowed amber over its face. Not Shirvan, not clan, not enemy. Human. "Help," she croaked, too weak to lift her voice. The human knelt slowly, scanning the child in her arms. Steam hissed from his suit as temperature control systems adjusted. A med scanner hissed to life. The human, he, said nothing. His gloved hand reached to his belt, withdrawing a small red cylinder. A thermal core. She gasped. "No, those are rare." But he pressed it gently to the child's chest, under her wraps. Then, carefully, removed his own heated coat and wrapped it around both of them. Saru stirred. Barely, but she moved. Tears froze on Kira's cheeks. "You? Why would you?" she tried to ask. Still silent, the human withdrew a small satchel and opened it. Inside were rations, heating packs, and something Kira hadn't seen in days, hope. He pulled her to her feet, supported her trembling frame, and activated a beacon. A pulse rang into the storm. "They'll come," he finally said, voice like thunder muffled in velvet. "You just had to survive a little longer." Kira didn't understand. "You're from the outpost?" He shook his head. "Rescue team from Earth. We monitor collapse zones. We saw the distress burst." "You came through the storm?" He looked down at the child. She called. Kira stared. "She didn't send the signal. She's just a baby." The human didn't answer. He lifted them both, child swaddled in one arm, mother leaning against his side. With careful steps, he turned back into the storm. As the snow howled around them, Kira could only whisper, "What are you?" And he replied simply, "Human." Hours passed, maybe days. Kira drifted in and out of consciousness. Warmth surrounded her now, gentle light and soft hums. Medical beds, filters, oxygen, the scent of antiseptics. Her eyes fluttered open. A young nurse, a human girl, smiled gently. "She's okay. Your daughter." Kira gasped and sat up. Saru was in a heated cradle nearby, tiny chest rising and falling. "She'll need nourishment." "But she's strong," the nurse said. Kira's hands trembled. "The man, the human who found us." The nurse blinked. "Captain Mason? He's resting. Refused any real treatment until you two were stable. That's kind of his way." Kira couldn't stop the tears. "He didn't have to help us." The nurse gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "He disagrees. He said something before collapsing." "What?" "That every life in this galaxy is worth stepping into the storm for." Kira leaned back. For the first time in days, her body began to relax. Outside the medbay window, she saw the white storm still raging on the mountain, but in her heart, warmth bloomed like fire. A human had answered a dying lullaby and changed everything.